welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Wow, exciting day. The shirt, one of the new shirts is here. Teespring, if you haven't already checked them out, down below, the links are down there for the Teespring store. I've gone on and done all the new logos. It's basically the same as from our fishing team ones, but I've updated it for the channel. Tried to get a little bit better, a little bit more professional, I guess. And I think it's come up really nice. It's a really nice, comfy shirt. That's the full size logo one. You've got normal shirts and stuff with the logo on there, and all the hoodies and everything else to choose from. If you're into it, definitely go check it out. It will help support the channel, so it's pretty cool. I've got to try the stickers out as well. So I've got some stickers, which are cool. I'll probably keep one of them for the giveaway, because I'm going to try and do a giveaway for September, not for August, because it's pretty much half over, but I'm going to work out something for September for the giveaway. So coffee mugs, all that stuff over on there, and working on new stuff all the time. And there's a heap of prints on there as well, and I've updated and put some new prints on there as well. So if you want to get one of nice photos, definitely on there. And if there's any from any videos that I've done that I haven't put up there as a print, and it's probably the easiest way for me to do it at the moment. Website's up. I've got down the road, I'm going to definitely look at being able to do it separately away from Teespring, my stuff. So, but at the moment, it's probably the easiest for me because we're so small. But if you're after a certain print, let me know, because I can just go and add it onto Teespring. It doesn't take too much to add it on there, and then you can just order it and you're away, and it's going to come to you. So what's happening in that space, I hope you like it. I reckon this looks pretty cool. It definitely stands out, which I thought would be good for the another day, another vlog thing. And yeah, there's stickers and stuff over there, something little if you just want to put something on your laptop or anything like that on your computer. Definitely go check it out. Coffee mugs for your Legion Energy. That's always good. You can go get those as well. And they're all up. Everything's updated with the new logos. So I thought it was a good chance to just give you a bit of a refresh and let you know what's happening on the store, on the merch side as well. So again, that all helps me get stuff so I can actually test stuff and do stuff, get lenses and bits and pieces for the cameras to test them out, and to get better photos for you guys as well for the shoots. So that's always cool. So yeah, pretty excited about that, pretty stoked, and I do appreciate any support that you do give towards the channel. I've had a few people order the Legion Energy stuff, so that's awesome. So that comes back. I just get a little kickback on that, so that's all good. All the affiliate links down below for gear and stuff, as always, like every channel, is down below. You can go check it out, and I do appreciate it if you do. Thanks for doing that. While you're down below, smash that subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be updated every time I pump one of these bad boys out to you. So yeah, pretty cool. That's the fun stuff out of the way, and I would want a huge shout out to all the guys listening over on the podcast. That's going really, really well. And I mentioned podcast is, I've got this, I don't know if you can see it, but this rocked up today from Rode. So Rode does microphones. I went in their podcast competition. Obviously I didn't win, which is, but it's the first time I've done it. I was pretty excited. It was sort of a bit of an overview of the channel. It's basically another day, another vlog, but just a voice version. So I'll try to get it out to you guys. And so if you're going for a run and you don't have time to jump onto YouTube or not on YouTube, and you're doing a lot of listening to podcasts, and it's a bit easier for you on the train, going to work, on the bus, definitely a way to catch up on the latest news, tech, all that sort of stuff that we do on another day, another vlog. So I do appreciate those guys over there. That's awesome. I hope you're enjoying it. It's pretty cool to do that. It's pretty easy for me to swap it over and do it. So it's definitely not hard. So if it is making it easy for people to come and see the channel or listen to the channel, well then that's awesome, and I'm pretty stoked with that. So definitely go check out the podcast. I think we're on about, it's through Anchor, which are really, really good. It's really well done. And I think they spread it out to about 6 or 7, Spotify, Apple. It's on all the major ones. I think there's 6 or 7. So there's plenty of options there. Just go check it out. It's 34 the media, and you'll see it another day, another pod. So instead of another day, another vlog, it's another day, another pod. Very, very simple, I thought. Anyway, I hope you all had a good day. I'm obviously back home. I got to see my little buddy Jack, which is just amazing. The smile on his face whenever I get to see him at the airport. If you're a parent and you work away and you get to see your kids for the first time, that's a pretty special feeling. And I'm sure most of you understand what I'm saying. If you haven't, if you're just an uncle or auntie like I used to be, it's always good when you see your nieces and nephews and stuff when you go to visit them, that same feeling. Well, we get that sort of when I come home from work, and it's pretty darn special. I get to play with him all day today, so very, very cool. Slip out here while he's having a nap, which is also awesome, and catch up with you guys. So another good thing of the day. Now, a bit happening, so I'm going to get straight into the news. After all that, I think I've covered everything else on that. Yeah, cool bananas. Rightio, so Apple, some good news from Apple. They've copped a bit of flack. Well, they haven't copped a bit. They've always got smashed a fair bit for their repair system. Basically, third-party vendors couldn't buy Apple products to put a new screen on your phone, whatever. You basically, if you wanted to get it fixed with genuine parts, you'd have to take it to Apple, and you got to pay the exorbitant prices, which we already do for the gear. But they're generally pretty good in that regard, so I do have to give them that. So I can't really smash them personally from that. I've had some really good experiences with them, but they are spreading out. They're helping out. They're basically going to be, from this week onwards, I think it is, supplying genuine parts to third-party suppliers. So those guys that do your screens and all that sort of stuff, they're now going to be actually able to buy genuine Apple parts, install them straight onto your phone, your iPad, your laptop, do all that, fix it for you, and you will be covered. They're also going to be supplying training for those people so they do it right, which is really good too. So if you're a third-party vendor, a little small business, or you're a teenage kid and you're looking for a business and you're into tech and you want to find a way to make some money on the side, well, hey, you're home. This is a good chance to maybe start a business, work it out, sit down with mum and dad and say, look, I want to do this. I want to start a business and fix phones and stuff on the side. It could be a way to earn some great pocket money to pay for games or whatever else. But also, once you get that business set up, you should be able to go and get those genuine parts, and I think that's awesome. Great to see Apple do that. Now, on the flip side of that, Apple and Epic Games is getting ramped up. We talked, I think it was yesterday, about Apple and Epic Games, and also Google, might have been the day before. Epic's suing Apple and Google. They take a 30% cut, I think Apple does, at least I know they do, for all the apps on the store. So if you paid $2, you're getting, say, 60 cents of that is going to Apple. The other $1.40 goes to the developer. So Epic's is fighting back against this. It's long been sort of held that's too much for to be taken off the developers, that Apple shouldn't be getting this much. They've obviously got a lot of cash. Whether that's right or wrong, I guess it's definitely each person's perception and where you stand. I guess Apple has designed the system and built it all. How can you sort of say that what they're asking is too much? I mean, you're getting access to the biggest app store on the planet, a ton of users, dedicated users that are willing to pay. So it's a fantastic system to be to be part of. Sorry. So I guess it's a tricky one, and it's very sort of hard to, I guess, work it out. Obviously, on the desktop PC and the Windows side, a lot of things are a lot cheaper and freer, but you also have a lot of problems that Apple resolves and fix, and you've got the Apple operating system as well to weed out 90% of your other issues. So I guess it's a tricky one, and it's hard to be there. It's obviously ramped up because basically all the developer tools which Epic had for its Unreal Engine and everything like that have been taken off them by Apple. So that's basically they can't do any updates, they can't do any repairs to any of the apps. So if you've currently got, say, Fortnite on your phone and there's a glitch in there, you're going to have that glitch until this lawsuit and whatever is resolved, because Epic now has zero access to go in and do updates or fixes or repairs on anything on their app. So huge. Apple's not taking this standing down. Definitely, as we said the other day, it's not going to be the last we hear of this, and it's getting bigger and worse. So a bit of a shame. Obviously, hopefully they can come to some sort of resolution reasonably quick. Epic is a massive, massive gaming company. They've got a lot of support from their gamers. Obviously with Fortnite, that's huge, but they also, the Unreal Engine is in a lot of other games, so this is going to affect a lot of different games. So we'll keep you updated, but yes, I can't imagine this is going to go away too quickly. Now, some good news for us M series owners. We've talked about new cameras, 2 new cameras, possibly a new M50 and possibly a M7, which could be like an upper tier. They're talking about getting rid of the DSLR version APS-C, which is the 7D. That the rumor is that will disappear and it will get a new top tier mirrorless to take over that, and that's possibly the M7. So over on Canon Rumours, they've got specs leaked for a EOS-M camera. Now, it's not defined whether it's an M50 or this top tier one, which we're rumoured to be getting this year, or at least announced. But the specs are pretty cool. I'll give you the specs, then we'll have a quick chat about them. 32 megapixel IBIS, dual pixel autofocus 2, Digic. It's got a new Digic processor, EVF, which is pretty much stand on that, but we'll talk a little bit more of that. Dual SD cards, 12 frames per second shooting on the camera side, so that's good. Big one, 460, 4K, 60 frames per second, no crop. 1080, 120 frames per second, and CLOG. Radios. There's some pretty fantastic specs. Obviously, a huge jump up from an M50 currently. The 32 megapixel sensor will be, I think that's pretty much the M6 II that's currently out now. So that's a great little sensor. That's really, really good. That's going to be good for photography. Video wise, I don't think it's not too big that it's going to affect it, but I think it's a really good sensor from all reports. IBIS, I think we all were sort of anticipating that after the R5 and 6. I don't think Canon was going to not do it. I think it'd be crazy if whatever this camera is. I've got a funny feeling this is going to be the top tier one. I don't think this is the M50. Dual pixel autofocus 2. Look, fantastic. That's really, really good. Hopefully that is in the 120 frames a second, as well as the 4K 60. Definitely needs to be in that, but in the 120 frame at 1080, hopefully that autofocus is in that, because that will be really, really good. Digic new processor. Well, currently the latest one is the X or 10 or whatever you call it. I'm assuming it's going to be that, or unless they've got a new one. So that's pretty cool. EVF. This is the tricky part where it's, I guess, hard to sort of steers you in a little bit of a wrong direction. Now, EVF, the only one that doesn't, in the M range, that doesn't come out is the M6. Now, that has no EVF on it, but you can attach a separate EVF. So when it says EVF, I'm assuming, okay, is that reading in between the lines, does that mean that it's going to be built in? So it's going to be something like the M50, or it's going to be a separate one like the M6, and they're going to go away from this style, and you have to buy the EVF as a separate unit if you want to use it. Depending on what level it is and what camera it is, I guess is the difference. I think on the M50, it's a definitely a hybrid camera. I think they're crazy if they don't have the EVF built in. So in that regards, that would be sort of accurate. They could be possibly an M50, but it's an insane M50. If it's a separate item, well, that might be this new flagship one where they're going to try and, I guess, make as much money out of it as possible by putting that as an extra item, but making it an amazing EVF, like a 2 or 3 million pixel EVF OLED or something like that. So that's a pretty interesting part of those specs. So still leaves a lot to sort of interpret, I guess, out of it. Dual SD cards, look, yeah, that's fantastic. Great to have them, but I still think, personally, having a Thunderbolt port or at least a USB-C port where I can record directly to an SSD and mount it straight on top of my cage, like the Blackmagic, like a lot of the newer cameras that are coming out, if you're going to have video or even photography, there's so many amazing SSDs out there now. I don't know why we're still worried about it. It's great to have a card as a backup, but I'd like to be able to plug straight in and put the SSD straight on here and get a terabyte of storage and just go brrr and go crazy. And then maybe just JPEG straight to the SD card for that backup. So I think that's a way forward. At dual SD cards, yep, look, it's been that way for a while. The dual SD cards was sort of the thing, but SSDs were a lot more expensive. Now they've come down from price, and just yesterday, I think Blunty over on his channel did a release for, I can't remember who it was, but a gaming SSD. So it's a brand new SSD using the new 3.0 PCI NVMe protocols, and that's 2 gig a second for SSD, and it's $500 for 1 terabyte. But like, that's insane speeds, and it's tiny, and you can easily mount that onto your camera, onto your cage. And you've got the Samsung and the WD are both tiny and both really, really good. So I think that's a better way to go for it. 12 frames a second. That's good because it's still highlighting the fact that this is definitely going to be a hybrid camera. You're not going to put 12 frames a second into a video-centric camera. You're going to you wouldn't even worry about pushing it that far. You'd probably go, we'll just throw 10 at it or 8 at it. Currently, a lot of them are about 4 or 5. I don't think the new Sony one has even got a really high frame rate. It's only the R5 and R6 that have those high frame rates, but they're definitely a hybrid camera. So that's really good that it's definitely going to be something there for both video and photographers. And obviously that sensor as well, 32 megapixel at an APS-C size, is amazing, and that's going to give a hell of a lot more detail. So very, very cool. 4K 60 no crop, yes, very cool. Look, as amazing as it is, it's still a hell of a lot of data you've got to store if you're doing a lot of videos. I think the way I do it, if I can get that with no crop, that would be amazing. I'd definitely use it. I think I'd use it for my videos, and for the daily vlog, I think I'd still keep it at 1080 and just upscale it to 4K. But look, if it's going to be no crop, that's going to be a huge seller for it. Very, very cool. And the 1080 at 120 frames, again, that just sells. That's going to sell like hotcakes, whatever it is, depending obviously on the price and how they're going to look at it in that regards. 120 frames. Look, they've listened to a lot of people. They've obviously read a lot of the online chatter about this series of cameras and what people want. So, and sounds like they've hit the market on the head. And then CLOG, given those video people, guys, and myself a chance to go in and get good quality video and give it that good colors and make sure that we're putting out a high quality product without breaking the bank. That's a great start. CLOG's awesome. That's a good start. It's a good learning point. So once you can do that, I guess once you progress up to a full frame and into the R series, well, then you can go into CLOG 2 and 3, and you already sort of have some basic knowledge of how to do that color coding for your film. So that's really, really good. Look, I said, I think I've got a funny feeling these specs are going to be for the top range one, whatever it's going to be, M7 or whatever they're going to call it. There's no mention of weather sealing, which I think's a must to improve on that. Is definitely something. The new lenses coming out, we know about that, so they will definitely take advantage of all these features. But yeah, I think the M50, what you're going to do is maybe get that 4K no crop. I don't know if you're going to get the increased megapixels. That's where I think it might be a different one. I think they may even keep they may give you a new processor, and I think they may in the new M50 they'll probably just keep one SD card, and they may not do the 120 frames a second. They might just go the 100 frames a second like they currently have. I think it's 100 frames. Yeah, I think it's 100 frames at the moment, and no CLOG. So that's what I think is going to be the difference currently as it is. I think this will be the premium one. Hopefully, maybe even a little bit more on top of that once it gets closer. So yeah, very exciting. Anyway, good to see we're starting to get a little bit back, and with those little dribs and drabs to keep us hungry. I know there's a lot of people out there keen to get on this. It's the biggest selling mirrorless camera in the world, as far as I know. That M series range is definitely like the big one. So it's great to see Canon really sinking some money into that and giving something to us so that we can enjoy it, because I think it's a great format, and especially after using the big boy and using that, even though it's an older model, having something so small and tiny that can put out such good quality is pretty amazing. Rightio. Adobe has, speaking of the big girls and the Canons and the R5s and 6s, Adobe has added support for the R5, R6, and all those new lenses. So those big 600s, the new extenders and all that. Well, as of today, if you haven't already and you're looking at buying one of those cameras or using the data off them, well, then you can go down and upgrade your software for the Adobe suite, and they will then let you get it for Lightroom, Photoshop, and all the other stuff in the Adobe platform. So that's cool. That's all done. I know there was a few people waiting for that. It was a bit of a struggle to get photos out, and there was a bit of had to mess around a bit to get stuff done. But that's now should be all sweet and tickety-boo. So very, very cool. While we're on Adobe, big fan of Adobe. I think actually they do a really good product and they do everything. So you've got a one-stop shop. So it's pretty cool. Now, we've had a lot of online events this year. Adobe normally does an annual event, but it's obviously a show where you got to turn up, you've got to pay. You get to see presenters, some great people, teach you stuff, show you the new stuff, all that sort of gibber-gabber. Well, the Adobe Max 2020 is live now for registration, and it's free. You're going to get access to 250 speakers, talking about obviously everything Adobe, photography, design, After Effects, movie, video, anything and everything that Adobe does, and they do so much, is going to be, you're going to get some tips and tools in there, which is going to be amazing. So it's from October 19th to 21st. You need to go and register. Obviously, you get the email. It's going to be live online chats. I'm not sure if I haven't gone and done it myself. I wanted to just get this out first. I'm going to check it out this week and register myself. You're going to see you'll see the new gear and new stuff that they're going to be bringing out. You'll also be able to get some awesome tips and tricks from guys that are like masters at their craft, all the way up to film, photography, and all those design aspects. I think this is a really good, fantastic that Adobe's made it free, and they're getting all their people that want to be part of their organization, give them access to this. I think that's a great thing from a business perspective. Very, very cool. And yeah, definitely go check that out if you're in the creative realm. And then last but not least, the global camera market share figures come out. Over in Canon Rumours was reading this. Top three pretty much normal. Canon is number one at 45%. Big change, but from second place to third place, Nikon has dropped. Nikon has dropped down to 18.6%, and Sony has jumped from third spot up into second at 20% market share. So that A7S III has done no harm to Sony's fortunes. Good on them. Nikon, obviously, we've seen a lot of chatter in the last six months at least about Nikon's struggles. The Z6 and Z5, and the Z50 was a really good camera. The Z6 and 5 never really got too much excitement about them. They're going to need to really step up their game in the next 6 to 12 months and to fight back and come back at this. It's if they want to survive, it's a tough market. Especially at the moment, it's really, really tricky. So huge news for Sony. I'm sure they're going to be wrapped. I'm sure their shareholders are going to be pretty stoked about it as well as the fact that PlayStation 5 is going bananas and gaming in general is going bananas. They're making a mozza there. They also have increased their share of that camera market, so they'd be pretty excited. And they probably deserve it, I think. The A7R4 and other cameras have done, like, a lot of people have swapped over to them and speak really highly about them. You can see them on most channels. Sony has become a bit of a norm for video, and the A7S III has by no means dropped that off. It has pretty much put them to the forefront because it come out and basically smacked the ass off Canon as well. So with their issues they have, Canon, I think, still get the photography side sort of done. So that hybrid photography and video, I think Canon's got that bit covered. But on the video side, you have to definitely say that Sony is the number one. Rightio, well, that's it for another day. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Stay safe, stay happy, and thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, want one of these awesome 34 media shirts? Go over and check out Teespring. Hook us up, grab yourself a sticker for the laptop. That'd be pretty cool. And I'll see you all again tomorrow. Whether you're coming this way, that way, I'll catch you soon. Peace.